Hey, Andrew and NVK, MK, what's up? Flippy wants to stream with me. He's down to come on here again. I'm glad he's starting his own thing too. I think that's pretty cool. I don't know how many people are actually here. Maybe I should post it. Just post the link. I need to change the title. I don't know why it keeps going back to this default title here. I don't know. Maybe it's good. I don't know why I keep saying this in the title. I'll wait a sec for some people to join. I mentioned this in the video that I posted earlier today, but this is ETH BTC from 2015 to 2016. This kind of looks like bullish Gartley or bat type structure. But actually briefly takes the lows. Looks like what Litecoin did on the 12-year chart here since 2012, 13-year. And we're on a 9 TD buy. So if this is the reversal candle, I do think Litecoin's going to make new all-time highs eventually against Bitcoin, just based on this fundamental view. But all the trend followers in crypto would not understand. Oh, actually, let me copy this and move it. But it probably reverses much faster. It is actually more likely than anyone imagines that Litecoin becomes the dominant Bitcoin chain and just surpasses it in market cap. I know people meme about Master saying that, but fundamentally, Bitcoin. If what I think happens, and I've thought this for a while, it hasn't played out yet, but if speculative congestion clogs the chain because there's 250 million people plus that have exposure and suddenly want to take custody or send their coins to exchanges to sell, it causes this fee crisis that forces migration for the remaining people that are still using BTC. And then it's more expensive to go set up a Bitcoin node to run the software, fully validate the chain. That might just become economically irrelevant if all the network activity, the real economic activity, moves over. It's not going to go back. So I don't know, all the speculative coin pumper guys all over mainstream media don't really even look at what's actually happening on the only important, relevant side of this market over the long term. Litecoin's just been in this descending channel against Bitcoin since 2018. But that's really when the casino started to be built out. I see a few people in here comment if you're watching. I know there's a lot of people that just leave it on. They don't know when I actually go live. And I'm hoping at some point when price, if and when, which could be very soon, breaks out of here, that this chat becomes self-sustaining. It's like a community that doesn't die overnight. What's up, Naga? Good to see you in here. We're just waiting for a lower time frame move. LTZ BTC is just slowly grinding down. But there are some signs of reversal on the super low time frames, like the hourly. I need to start having guests on here. I'll have Tony the Bull on Friday, so in 3 days. And I'm pretty sure if Litecoin is going to break out, once there's attention here, all of the notable crypto influencers would be down to come on. Hopefully we get a move in price here shortly to the upside, because CMF is making significant higher lows here. Just grinding straight up. I released a video earlier. I'm just making these daily shorter form videos. But maybe we could talk about this because it's relevant. And a lot of people are asking what happens, like what's the significance of the Litecoin ETF? And I said this for like 6 months, but I think it's going to have more of an impact than most people imagine. The current crypto community, or pool of people that are involved in this space right now, aren't that interested in Litecoin. But I think the people involved in speculating in crypto markets are a subset of the greater population, more keen on high risk taking. What's up, Jackson? Sunny? Yeah, I don't think people realize how illiquid it really is. It just suffered from lack of speculative interest. Even though we see the opportunity as extremely high, the rest of the market's convinced it's useless. But yeah, I mean, from what we've talked about forever, like this, obviously people are buying, the people in this community are continuing to buy Litecoin because they see that as this price level being a discount at any price, like basically in the last 3 years. And we've gone sideways since like April of 2022. It's a long time. And I know for sure because of search interest that speculative demand has gone straight down. We know transactional demand has been growing steadily with the potential to go vertical. And like we're reaching a point of like supply exhaustion, I think. Where I'd expect a major move. And any major move in price is going to bring more demand and attention. And because it's such a tiny market cap with this restricted supply, should move very fast. Yeah, exactly. A lot of people think, like Jackson said, market cap is, yeah, how much money is in a cryptocurrency. But what happens in crypto um, is that so many people are holding, right? So that the available supply is super thin, and that relative like asset side liquidity shrinks over time as an asset moves sideways. Like when you get volatility compression, and if you think like I do based on the on-chain stats, transaction stats, and the technicals that long-term holders have been accumulating, waiting for higher prices, it's just like it multiplies that typical um, crypto price behavior where everyone's holding and then you get a buy side demand catalyst, whether it's macro or specific to the cryptocurrency, where prices just go vertical because you get a flood of new people and nobody selling. It's hard for this market to actually value these things. There's no there's no popularized valuation metric. It's all just like, oh, and M2 money supply is going up and therefore Bitcoin will increase. That is these are all just like self-fulfilling prophecies, or the halving cycle theory. There's so many of them. Power law, the rainbow charts. Those are all wrong. Like ultimately there is a very specific market in which cryptocurrency will likely eventually compete in. Just people have a hard time valuing money. But yeah, you can it's way more apparent that crypto is super illiquid in these like meme coins. Right? There's like hardly any volume, but some of these move to billion-dollar market cap valuations. That's why NFTs rallied so much. Right? There's nobody trading them, right? Like one of one NFTs, and you get a sudden rush in demand. Yeah, I think it's magnified with Litecoin here, right? It is very dominant, like miles ahead of everything else, and that means that the next catalyst for transactional demand will push Litecoin's lead even further, likely ahead of BTC, and that'll trigger increasing speculative demand. It's it's weird. It's like if Bitcoin had an ETF on ramp when it was $400. That's kind of how I think about it. Like back here in 2015, you're opening up the floodgates of like the largest markets in the world to get access to it when it's tiny and nascent. Bitcoin at $400. And with a fundamental demand catalyst that can push it above Bitcoin's 2017 top level of transaction activity. So it can be this like insanely rapid repricing. And this is all fundamental analysis. I know the technical analysts would not really agree, but I don't know. I don't put technicals as the number one component, even though because this market's so sentiment driven, those guys have earned the like most credible sources in the space. I don't really know. I wish we could see exact ask side liquidity to see how much money it really would take in inflows through this ETF to push it. I just know if it relatively breaks out against everything else, then it will be covered in the media, especially since everyone's going to be paying attention to crypto. Um, and then the search interest is going to go really high. We know that's how the cryptocurrency works. I know people say that won't work for Litecoin, but it's the same. It doesn't matter what coin it is. Price brings eyeballs. It takes very little money to move the price. It gives the odds of Litecoin outperforming everything else, like to me, as the odds of that happening are very high. And the narrative that eventually will, the reality that eventually will be the dominant narrative is compelling. Yep, exactly, Jackson. The herd is always wrong. Everyone that owns Bitcoin doesn't understand this, or they're deluded because they're just listening to the same 10 podcasters that say the same 10 things every 10 minutes for 10 years. That's literally what's been happening. The same 10 people have been shouting the same lines, convincing more people to buy, which validates their narrative and causes this positive reflexivity for Bitcoin to literally go nowhere in terms of organic growth, but up 40x in price. It has lost relative dominance if you sort out all the speculative volume since 2018, and Litecoin has grown. So they're painting the opposite picture. The thing that should be not going up is because of momentum and narratives. And the thing that has the most growth, that has been growing and can grow vertically, is going sideways. They'll all come on board though eventually. Admit they were wrong, maybe. I don't know. The sooner they admit it, the better off they'll be. But identities are attached, so I don't imagine that happening very fast. Yeah, Jackson is spitting straight truth. Volumes. It's interesting because volumes have been declining since December 20th, but price is grinding back up against this major resistance. Breaking out from here with a giant spike in volume is way more bullish than breaking out like we did here from like the bottom. Because there's going to be a lack of ask side liquidity above these highs. It's not going to take much. So if you have a giant spike in ETF flows, this can rally to all-time highs quickly. Based on past behavior, once that momentum kicks in, everyone will start calling for super high price targets, and I don't know. Just seems like a major supply demand imbalance is brewing. Buenas noches. What's up, Nick? Good evening. We're keeping it consistent every day. I tried to go down to Wall Street today, and then I spent like 45 minutes to get down there. But my camera's memory card was not working. So I go back tomorrow. Yeah, we were just talking about what the ramifications of the ETF are likely to be. And I know you kind of agree with me. It's like a totally different demographic that buys ETFs traditionally versus the crypto, like degen younger crowd that is all into like meme coins, Solana, random proof of stake projects. I see a lot of larger money, right? Like these Litecoin treasury companies planning future buys, ETFs being approved, LitVM marketing this, and that kind of demand can appeal to the proof of stake guys. That type of marketing of layer 2s or credit layer networks on Litecoin. Been waiting for that stream, for the stream. Come on here again, Nick, if you want to. If you're not babysitting or busy. There's not much to talk about since we've just been yeah, well, Bitcoin's was launched like right prior to when was the Bitcoin ETF approved? January 10th. Okay, yeah, that's where I thought. So it was like hype that it was going to get approved. I mean, price took the highs, lows, but then right after you had significant ETF flows, and this was the most extreme rally thus far, right from 38K to 73K, so nearly 100%. And a lot of this rally was like front running the ETF, I think. And you had the Donald Trump news. Yeah, I was looking at the flows. Ethereum was similar, but Ethereum's launch was in a bad time for the market. It was, wait, was it here? July 2024. Yeah, did nothing. It actually had net outflows after the first month of like 400 million. But also that ETH, like people got trapped in the Bitcoin and ETH grayscale products for multiple years, and I was saying like those people are just gonna immediately get out once those discounts to the net asset value of those trusts goes to zero. But Litecoin doesn't have that problem. It's not like a bunch of people were trapped in LTCN forever. It traded at a premium for like 4 months back in 2024. So people had plenty of time to get out. I don't think you're going to have that initial sell pressure, and it kind of depends on broader market conditions. But if we are going to break higher here, like the total 2 kind of looks like the Russell. It's like almost breaking through its previous all-time high. So small caps and altcoins are about to see rotation into them at a time when the Litecoin ETF's approved. You really don't need that much in search interest in money to move price. But if price does break out quickly, like demand is going to accelerate for Litecoin ETFs very, very fast. I mean, there might be people front running it. It's just weird because volumes have declined so much that nobody's really talking about it anymore. It's been like a year, but price is grinding up here against this resistance. So it's not even taking that much volume to move price. So that might be a sign. And you do have significant volume on all these breakouts. A lot of people stacking drove this. I'm sure they didn't sell at a loss. But I would think that volume expands. And on the longer term chart, yeah, volume's been in a steady downtrend. I think we're going to get a breakout here. Yeah, people expect Litecoin ETF flows to be low, I think. Like the crypto market, native, like the people paying attention to it. But I think they're wrong. It's going to surprise to the upside. In net inflows. Because I look at all the Litecoin holders and people within this crypto space, most of them are a lot older. And I know all the older people have all of the money. The vast majority. What's up, Master? I don't know. I think I've gotten somewhat lucky in the past. I'm gonna turn on this music. I think most people will sell too early. It was a lot easier to see last cycle, and like for this, like I had a very narrow focus on the grayscale products, and I knew they'd eventually return to a discount. I just used technical analysis to sell the top here. But you had all the signs, right? Like meme coin mania, craziness, high leverage in the crypto market. This was trading at a 5x premium to its net asset value. It just was very extreme. And then in 2021, it was way easier to track on-chain flows back then. And I saw this huge spike in coins sent to exchanges for LTC here. So I was worried about a top then, and that was the top. It's only obvious in hindsight. But now I think there's so many people worried about it. Like the vast majority of the market worried about trading these things. I kind of think, just given the supply-demand imbalance, the amount of money I think is coming versus the very illiquid supply side, I just think most people sell too early. Just like what Master did with Dogecoin last cycle. Yeah, for sure. Well, nobody knows. It's so hard. But I don't think if this is going to have the expansion that we've been expecting, I don't think you go sideways with increasing network activity, and one of the only chains with obvious long-term fundamental growth catalysts, that it just barely breaks out and rejects and comes back down. I think that's so unlikely given where sentiment already is right now. I don't know. Sure, anything's possible, but I don't know. I rely mainly on sentiment, not TA. And I think the sentiment versus the reality of what this actually is so crazy that until the market starts repeating what I'm saying broadly, I won't think the top is in. Yeah, I mean, if you have long-term conviction in permissionless money and you think it's going to be a large market, that's another way to think about it. That's the way I always frame it in my head, even though I'm looking at the price chart all the time. Like, I can pull that up. Again, Litecoin represents what, like a 1% share of the proof of work market, but it has the network effect lead and Bitcoin can't grow. BTC represents like 96% in price, but only like, okay, total users, if you added up, like Litecoin does about 200,000 transactions a day. Bitcoin, if you subtract all the ordinals and rune stuff, it's like 400,000. So it leads Litecoin by about 2x, but it's 100x ahead in price or market cap. Now you have to weight that against the average transaction value sizes. Like Bitcoins are about 10x ahead, but the real if it's only leading by a factor of 10 or 20x in terms of total volume, like real economic volume sent on chain, let's just assume it's 20x. Litecoin you could argue theoretically should trade at 5% of Bitcoin's market cap, which would be like 0.05 divided by 4, 0.015, like near the all-time highs. But I would put Litecoin at a huge premium because it has a clear path for growth. So I think Litecoin, if you just took the real economic activity today, it wouldn't do it justice. You have to price in growth for Litecoin because Bitcoin doesn't have any room for growth anymore. So I would actually, assuming Bitcoin does 20x the total volume sent between Litecoin and Bitcoin, so Litecoin's 20x lower, you get a 0.05, like should have 5% of Bitcoin's market cap, but I think it should trade at like 3 times that, at 15 or 20% of Bitcoin's market cap. Because the odds of if Bitcoin's going to actually demand for the money is going to grow, Litecoin's likely to capture most of the new growth. And then there's a chance that it becomes a dominant Bitcoin chain and Bitcoin is hardly used. That's how I look at it. More as what market is it competing in long term? What's its market penetration currently? What are the odds that it outcompetes everything else in the crypto space? And I think the odds of Litecoin outcompeting all the other Bitcoin chains is like 90+%, 95%. Because it already has been doing that, and we know the catalyst that will further that lead. Even all the privacy coins have not kept pace with Litecoin. Even Monero, it's about 10% of Litecoin's growth, but again, it should get way more extreme. I'd expect Litecoin to be 100x ahead of these chains. Yeah, thank you, Andrew. Appreciate that. Nobody has really disagreed with me in real life when I've ever sat down and had like a long form conversation. But it makes sense because of price momentum, why so many people are distracted, and why all the loudest voices around Bitcoin dominate the spotlight. It's hard. It's so hard, like even for my dad. He's like, if I didn't have you explaining this, I would have left a long time ago. Chase something else. It's so hard for people. This price validates their narrative. And you will feel like you're wrong. But if you remind yourself that we're in this popularity contest, and when you look at the history of when people were interested in Litecoin, it made no sense, right? 2013 and 2017 had no market penetration or traction. So the market was so wrong here. It's been so wrong since the beginning. Why would it suddenly be right? I think it's got more distracted than ever. Like, often what's popular, especially in new environments, like think about the dot-com bubble, so many things that were popular ended up useless, and so many things that people thought were useless ended up being the most dominant internet companies in the world. But if you had a clear vision back then for how the internet would evolve and what would dominate, and stuck through that volatility, you would have been one of the wealthiest people ever. And I think, or not ever, but like you'd have been super wealthy on a relative basis. I think the same thing, the same opportunity exists here in cryptocurrency, except I think it's way bigger. Than the early internet days. Yeah, we're so late in terms of like like the casino phase of this market. I think it's almost done after this cycle. But so early because the market hasn't even moved on at all. Like market penetration is so low for these cryptocurrencies because we've all been contained in the casino. But when this breaks and this bubble pops, so too I think will a lot of the trust in the existing financial system. And there's no real other alternative. You can't really use gold or silver or metals, physical monies outside the current system unless you're going to trade in person and then measure and weigh your gold and silver and verify that it's real. I just don't see that happening. It's so much harder. Yeah, it is insane. It is pretty insane. Price should not change your opinion in this type of market environment. It should just make you seek an understanding for why. And if you, the most rational explanation, and the one that makes the most sense to me, is just like this whole market is in a bubble. A lot of it's floating on hot air, and the relative attention Litecoin has gotten has just decreased over time. And despite that, with zero marketing, it's the fastest growing proof of work chain. And it's hard to know if Bitcoin, like when Bitcoin adoption will increase or when demand for permissionless money will increase, but we know that things are getting a lot crazier, right? The political divide, stuff like financial condition of the US is not improving, it's deteriorating. And there aren't many alternatives that are trusted. Alternative monies. But I think adoption's likely to happen by these like something like these types of people, right, that build AI business that generates millions of dollars a month. Like the leverage that people now have with these tools, it's crazy. And I think those are the people that are most likely to adopt cryptocurrency whenever this monetary system starts to break down. What's up, NR? I'm doing alright. How are you? What do I see in the coming months? Well, I think there's a pretty high chance of the total cryptocurrency market breaking out, like the altcoin space. And this chart looks like the Russell 2000, and typically, I mean, if this rhymes with history, this is usually the end stages of a bull market cycle, where you get relative outperformance in small caps and altcoins. And because this is, to me, the end stage of a longer term credit cycle, I think it's most likely that we get a blow off. We'll see massive rotation out of Bitcoin into altcoins. And I think Litecoin has the best odds of leading this rally because it hasn't pumped. It's the only coin fundamentally that's growing that hasn't really rallied. So in the coming months, I think Litecoin is going to break these highs. And we'll have to see. I expect the breakout to be pretty quick once it happens, and the move to be pretty violent. Well, my expectation right now is that happens and it continues for multiple months until it convinces the majority and they have to reconcile the dominant narratives with the truth. And then once people figure it out, like when's the second Bitcoin chain or is passing BTC, which I think will happen if Bitcoin's going to enter a blow off, then everyone's going to want to own it, and that'll be the top. Because this market has a long way to go before it fully develops into a money market that people rely on daily. But if I had to guess, that's what happens. ETF approval gets enough net inflows and demand to push us through this resistance. It results in a relative outperformance against everything else. So Litecoin against altcoins, Litecoin against ETH, that breaks out vertically. And then positive reflexivity kicks in, where momentum begets more momentum. And hopefully enough people come here that I can explain this to them. Because I want people to know the truth. They can disagree with it if they want, but I'll just show the data and explain exactly what I've explained since I've started doing this. And I do think that narrative can spread fast. So that's what I think. Maybe we can put in a bottom against ETH here, and this inverse head and shoulders can play out. Oh, Master, I was gonna show you this. Where did it go? showing this earlier, but I think I've showed this before. But Litecoin was on a TD9 buy, like it closed on this 9 reversal candle at the end of last year. This is a 9-year downtrend against Bitcoin. And this looks like a bullish harmonic pattern that I saw in ETH BTC. On this much smaller time frame. Back here, it's like near identical. Fractal doesn't have to play out exactly the same, but it was very similar. Just on a 1-year time frame rather than 13. So it's actually possible. I think Litecoin against Bitcoin will make new all-time highs. For sure. Like that, I'd be surprised if it doesn't. I know for sure if this demand for Bitcoin increases to the extent people think, I'd be like 95% confident that that excess demand is all absorbed by Litecoin. And it passes Bitcoin, at least in total users and probably total transaction volume. And then I know how fast the speculators will leave BTC for LTC, and LTC will have the speculative premium. And if all of that realization happens in a short amount of time, the whole world was wrong about Bitcoin, dang. People are gonna lose their minds. But it is true, they are wrong. How many lost Litecoin there are? Yeah, I know there's a lot of talk, or at least in the past, about how much lost Bitcoin. I'm sure a lot, because it was launched like 2011. It's been a long time. Your dad's now bankrupt? What happened? You tried promoting Bitcoin to your dad? Saying it's the only way people can buy stuff on the dark web? Oh man. Well, that sucks. Yeah, they were all showed the wrong Bitcoin. They think Bitcoin is just one chain. It's gonna look so stupid if this market really develops and fulfills its value proposition. That viewpoint will look so dumb. Like, people will wonder why do we think this? Right? If this market grows the way I think it will, and there will be sort of mass adoption, or not full mass, never will be just like all cryptocurrency, but if it transitions from the casino market to like a significant share of the real market for money, man. I don't know. It just reminds me of every other bubble in human history, really. People just assume price number goes up for a specific reason, that whatever asset they're owning is unique, right? They did it with railroad speculation. They just assumed, like, all these bankers financing railroad development were telling customers that it's safe, easy growth, guaranteed. And then it collapsed, and banks, trust companies went under, people got mad. Same thing happened. It's happened so many times. It's happened with land speculation, with cotton, tulips. I'm with housing in 2008, 2009. It's happening again with all financial assets right now. I think people don't recognize that asset prices don't always have to go up. Inflation doesn't mean number go up all the time. That correlation breaks. Political risk gets really high, and then you gotta be really careful as to what you own and your ability to protect it. You can't rely on governments to protect your wealth at some point. They just take it from you. Oh, what makes me think Litecoin will reverse the ratio in LTC BTC? Just because the trend in network growth on a relative basis will continue. I mean, I thought in 2017 that the way Bitcoin would scale would be horizontally through multiple chains, and once a dominant Bitcoin chain emerged, a second one, the likelihood for that one to become like the next in line to be monetized and would outperform everything else until blocks were full and fees rose, just like on the first Bitcoin chain, would happen. So like, there's one assumption, it's that demand for permissionless money via the Bitcoin security model will increase over time. If that happens, the speculative premium Bitcoin has will transition to another Bitcoin chain. The market still doesn't realize that, yeah, fixed supply is rare in that no other money has had it before, but what's also unique to Bitcoin is that cost rises with demand. And there's no credit layer thing, or there's no solution to scaling that, even though they promised all these various scaling solutions in 2017. Nothing got adopted because it was never possible for those to actually scale the chain. So it will work like this, just like it has been. And the speculative market there's so much more speculative capital in this market than real monetary demand, so like memes dictate price. And that's why they're so vulnerable to positive momentum and reflexivity. But eventually that will break, right? It takes so much more money to lift Bitcoin above its network valuation over time. And once momentum stops and wanes or something else takes the spotlight, it's not going to shift. But yeah, if you believe like I do that demand for permissionless money will continue and that the Bitcoin security model is going to continue to be the thing that's actually adopted for this, which it is so far, right? You can look at every other cryptocurrency, nothing else is growing at the same rate as the Bitcoin security model chains of BTC and LTC. And this is the only thing that will drive price in the long run. You can't have speculation forever. It can't just be a meme. Somebody, like imagine a bear market scenario where all the speculators are trying to leave and they give up hope. Who are the people that are gonna buy it from them? The people that actually need it, have no other option. Those are the buyers of last resort, not the hodlers, right? All these hodlers that are leveraged in Bitcoin can go bankrupt. I'd say for most people, they need to look at this like they'd look at investing in a consumer product or tech product, right? Like if Apple said, oh, this phone, everyone's gonna want it forever, and the price is always gonna go up, so buy it, but there's another company that's making the same product for way cheaper. Like, would you believe just that people would continue to speculate on this phone even though the real demand is waning? No. I don't even know why I have to say those things, because they seem so obvious. Yeah, it's weird to me that everyone's just focused on who's the next buyer of Bitcoin, who's gonna speculate on Bitcoin next and push it up. Like, they all assume governments are going to adopt Bitcoin or that they're going to settle trade in Bitcoin, with no evidence of that ever happening and no reason for them to do it, right? They benefit the most from the current monetary system. They're the ones that have the monopoly over money. They get to tax the rest of the world and their citizens through that monopoly privilege. Why would you give that up? You can't. It's impossible. And to just slide Bitcoin into the existing financial system is not going to work. They're directly competing governments are not gonna help you. Like, they're the ones taxing you. It's individuals that want to resist that taxation. Those are the people that will make Bitcoin succeed or fail. And by Bitcoin, I don't mean just BTC, like all these Bitcoin chains. DXY is looking like it's dumping. Yeah, I mean, maybe if it breaks through this support here. Probably on expectation of Fed rate cuts. Like, honestly, this... long term, I don't know how the dollar does not drop significant. It's hard to tell what's going to happen in the short term. That's awesome. Your favorites. Yeah, it's weird. It's hard to know short term with the dollar because there's all this dollar denominated debt that creates this artificial short term demand. But the fundamentals of the dollar are so weak, right? It has the largest government behind it. The economy that has the highest, like trade deficits in the world. So there's, like, fundamentally for a traditional fiat currency, demand for it was relative to how much the economy produced. Like, you need to go buy their money to buy their stuff. But the US has, these gigantic trade deficits. And these gigantic federal deficits, right? Federal government spending deficits, spending so much money. And that is going to result in more money printing. So the only thing holding it together are these entrenched network effects, kind of like Bitcoin, right? Entrenched influencer network effects that can push speculation. Moment of truth here, though, for BTC. See if I can clear through this resistance. Yeah, it's in a recording. I have it uploaded. But I think the network divergence with Dogecoin was not as significant, and the path for growth in Dogecoin is not there, right? There's no future catalyst for demand except speculation around Elon. Basically, that's like the only thing people pay attention to, which a centralized figure to me that has no control over what a decentralized market does. It's like meaningless, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I think we should witness utter madness, kind of like 2017, but it could be more extreme. To me, that's my view. The macro narratives are kind of aligning. Like gold and silver are going crazy. Did silver get rejected? I didn't check it. I guess briefly by its all-time high, or close to its all-time high. I think that was the bottom for LTC Doge though, and we've got like at least 40% move or so back to these highs, and I think it's gonna break out 10x against Doge. Novogratz and all these bigger money people are still buying Solana. I didn't realize. Flip. I don't know what he wants people to call him. Flippin' Finance. Asked me to join him on his stream. Maybe he can come on here too. Let's check MMOB adoption. You guys mentioned it. It's kind of just going sideways. What the heck? Transactions are also just not doing anything. Alright guys, what are we doing? I'm just hanging out here. Nothing to do really. What's going on the crypto YouTube? What's that? Ooh. You're funny. Recently uploaded. I somehow have to get to Caesar's level. This guy's killing it on the view counts. He has 50,000 subscribers. I remember he had like 10,000 not too long ago. I just can't make videos about TA all day or other coins that I don't think have much of a long-term value prop, and I think most of this market's that way. Look, it's trampling everything coin. Oh, Litecoin, yeah. Well, I see what you did. Guys, go ahead and like the stream so we can boost our algorithmic potential if you haven't done so already. I think a lot of people have. Also, this video is doing pretty well. It's the best performing video so far. It's been like 3 days. It has 1.8k views. If we can break out into broader mainstream awareness this way, it would help draw people in. Like, I'm pretty sure the algorithm, if you get decent like click-through rate, view count, and watch time, like it will pump it to it'll test your video amongst a much broader audience. So it can go parabolic from like 5k to 50k. Super fast. So help me out, like this video. For me. Let's actually play this. I'll turn off the music here.
Sorry.
I held you, love. I waited. You built. I stayed. You sold. I watched. You scroll. Said it straight, you said I'm wrong. Now you're back, like nothing's gone. You had your chance. You had your shot. You changed your mind. I did not. You had your chance. You made your play. I stayed the course. It's just you didn't believe till it looked right. You had your chance. You saw the signs, now you want it. After the climb, you had your chance. It's plain to see. You chose the noise, I chose belief.
You had your chance. Sorry. Not sorry.
We don't forget. We just move forward. You had your chance.
Sorry. Not sorry.
Alright, I think we have better ones coming. There's stuff I haven't uploaded. I need to do that later. This one will be pretty good. I wanted to have like 3 hours of just Litecoin back-to-back concerts. Some like not as intense, and some that are just straight EDM hype. I think we got a good mix. We'll see. Good job. You ate it all? Nice. Yeah, I think once Litecoin does start moving, Bitcoin probably moves too. I know Master thinks that, but I do think it'll steal a lot of the spotlight. Why would you, like, people are buying Bitcoin because they think it's gonna go up more. They're not buying it for its value prop. They're just speculating on number go up. And that'll look a lot less convincing if we finally get this breakout here. And if Litecoin continues and persists higher, that's how Bitcoin convinced so many people, right? It's like, oh, Bitcoin's going up, oh, the Solana is going up and Litecoin's not moving. Like, it gets more people sucked in. And that should happen here with Litecoin. Just because it's such an extreme lack of interest right now. With a extreme growth potential, which will eventually rekindle that speculative interest. I just imagine it's stupid how the cryptocurrency market is going to go from 0 to 100, I think. Very fast. Wait for a pullback, and like after it finally breaks out, after pulling back so deeply, like these 786 super deep corrections, right? After it does this so many times, finally when the narrative changes and sentiment changes, people will want to pull back and it won't happen. After it did grinded for since 2020, having these deep retracements, and nobody wanted it. I'm gonna try to wake up early tomorrow and go down to Wall Street. Hopefully you guys can tune in for that. If not, I'll upload it later that night, tomorrow night. What time tomorrow? Probably like mid-morning or early afternoon. I'll see. I'll leave the stream on and then I'll post it on X as well before I head out there. Yeah, all the old narratives will die pretty fast if price moves. Everyone has short-term memory in crypto. People thought it was over after in 2020 and 2021. It wasn't. All right, guys, I'm gonna try to go to sleep. I need to shower and sleep. But thanks for coming. Appreciate it. I'm gonna keep on going every day, even when it's boring. See ya, Andrew. Have a good night. What should I play? I feel like we played the same thing the last few nights. I really want to play these Litecoin price videos, but it's just not time yet. Play this.
Welcome to the Litecoin coffee shop. Settle in, relax. Let the music and passing conversations do their.
Have you ever really looked at the moon? Not just glanced at it. I mean, seen it. Have you watched it rise, slow and silver? Have you seen it pull the tides? Have you felt its glow on your skin? Have you ever stayed up all night just to see the moon? Have you ever seen a full moon and thought, maybe this is it? Wow. Look at that. What a beautiful moon. Perfect. Round. Silver. I like the moon. I said it once, but
maybe you didn't hear me. I like the moon. Do you? Do you like the moon? Or do you just look at it sometimes and forget? Have you ever stopped to notice how round it is? Perfectly round. Not almost. Not nearly. Perfect. Have you ever wondered why it never falls? Why it just hangs there? Silent. Steady. Watching. Maybe you think you've seen it, but have you? Have you really seen it?
Have you ever asked the moon a question? Not out loud, not with words, just thought it and waited. Did it answer you? Or did it just glow and let you make up the answer yourself? Have you ever seen the moon reflected in water? Not the sky moon, the copy moon, shaking, breaking, reforming, but still the moon. Have you ever wondered which is more real? The one above you, or the one rippling beneath you?
Have you ever watched the moon while the clouds tried to cover it? They always try. They float across, they smother, they hide. But the moon waits, and the clouds drift away. And there it is again, unbothered, untouched, unmoved. Have you ever thought, maybe the moon isn't just in the sky? Maybe it's in you, maybe it's in your bones. Maybe that's why silver feels familiar.
Have you ever seen the moon during the day? Bright sun overhead, but still, a pale ghost of silver behind the blue. It shouldn't be there, but it is, like it's reminding you, I'm still watching. Have you ever thought, maybe the sun is just a loud guest, but the moon is the quiet owner of the house? Have you ever wondered if the moon has always been here, long before you, long before me, long before all of this? And if it will still be here after.
I close my eyes, and the moon follows me inside. It's bigger now, closer, round and silver, filling the room. The light is heavy. It presses on my chest. It whispers block times in my ear. Steady, steady. Every 2.5 minutes. I dream of silver rivers flowing upward, never ending. I dream of wallets, not empty, but glowing, like lanterns drifting into the night sky. I dream of a market that forgot about me, until the moon rose higher and higher and higher. Silver light. Dream, dream, dream. The moon is counting. Keeping score. The moon remembers. The moon follows me. Not in the sky anymore. It slips into the room. It hovers in the corner, like it wants to be noticed. I turn away, close my eyes, but the glow leaks through, silver against my eyelids, silver in my thoughts. Have you ever tried not to think about the moon? It's impossible. The harder you try, the brighter it gets.
The moon drifts closer, slow, silent, like a balloon that forgot about gravity. I laugh, but the moon doesn't. It just stares, steady, silver, calm. I wonder, is it listening? Does it hear me thinking? Does it know about my bags? I whisper, don't tell anyone. The moon says nothing, but I think it winks. The moon opens a drawer. Where did it get a drawer? Inside. More moons. Small ones. Spare ones. Practice moons. They roll across the floor, bumping into each other, jingling like coins. I pick one up. It hums in my hand. Light but heavy. Cold but warm, a contradiction. I hold it close. I think this is worth something. The moon nods.
I close my eyes again. But now I'm floating. No bed. No floor. Just drifting in silver air. The moon is huge now. I can see craters like ledgers. Lines etched deep, storing secrets. Each crater holds a memory. Each glow carries a record, unbroken, unforgotten, undeniable. The moon is my witness. The moon is my chain. I hold it close. I think this is worth something. The moon nods.
The silver light drifts across my eyes. Moonlight on water, shining like metal. They say the moon is made of cheese, but I know better. It shines too bright, too silver. to Litecoin. I drift with it, orbiting my thoughts, like a quiet blockchain no one talks about. Round steady still here, block after block after block. Silver light. Drift, drift, drift. Some people dream of gold, but me? I dream of silver. I dream of the moon. Silver, moonlight.
I close my eyes again, but the moon sneaks in behind them. It paints silver circles across the dark, soft rings, growing larger, until there's no room left for sleep. I dream of rivers made of light, silver streams that run uphill, coins like leaves, floating past me, spinning as they go. I dip my hand in, the river whispers, hold steady. 2.5 minutes. Always 2.5 minutes.
The moon is louder now, not with sound, but with presence, like it's pressing its glow against my chest, measuring my heartbeat, matching it. Each beat a block, each breath a confirmation. Dream time moving forward, whether I want it to or not. I whisper, "Can you slow down?" The moon shakes its head. It just keeps counting. Unstoppable, unbothered, unimpressed.
I see wallets floating in the sky. Not leather, not paper, just glowing shapes, square and bright, like little windows filled with light. They drift above me, silent, patient, like lanterns in a festival. Some are full, glowing heavy, like they can barely stay aloft. Some are empty, barely a flicker, ghost wallets, forgotten. They circle the moon, orbiting like prayers, orbiting like regrets.
I reach for one, it slips away. I reach for another, it sings. The solo becomes a chorus, 1,000 dream voices, all whispering at once. Still here, still silver, still waiting. I laugh in the dream, or maybe I cry. I can't tell. The moon doesn't care. It just shines. The moon remembers. The moon always remembers. The moon is closer now. Too close. It's looking at me. Did the moon just wink? Did the moon just ask for my password?
password, a seed phrase, 12 words under silver light. The moon is laughing. I laugh with it. A silver joke no one else understands. I hear voices in the glow. They chant softly. LTC to the moon. LTC to the moon. The moon nods, I nod back. We understand each other. Round, bright, patient. Not gold, not cheese. Silver. The moon pulls me higher. I can't tell if I'm dreaming or if I've already left the ground. The moon hovers above me. Closer now. Too close. It asks for my devotion. I whisper, take it. It asks for my seed phrase. I whisper, 12 words under silver light. From the shadows, a voice, then another, then 1,000. They chant, soft, steady, endless. LTC to the moon. LTC to the moon. LTC to the moon. The crowd raises their phones. Each screen shows the same chart. Line up, line down, line up again. They cheer at the lines, they cry at the lines, they chant at the lines. Number go up, number go up, number go up. The moon pulses like a drum, like a heartbeat. Every 2.5 minutes, always 2.5 minutes. The crowd sways with it, whispering, hold, hold, hold. The moon smiles, silver teeth flashing, and it whispers its final joke. You thought I was cheese, you thought I was stone, but I am silver, I am forever, I am Litecoin. And the chant returns. I close my eyes, but I don't sleep. The moon is too bright. It stares at me. I roll over. Check again. Still there. Still shining. Still silver. I tell myself, relax, hodl, just hodl. But my eyes won't listen. They keep searching the glow for numbers that aren't there. The moon whispers to me, not words, just light. A quiet reminder. Hold steady. Don't let go. I laugh in the dark, I can't help it. Other people count sheep. I count blocks. 1, 2, 3. I lose track. I keep holding. I close my eyes again. But the moon is still watching. And so am I.
I close my eyes. But I don't sleep. The moon is too bright, too smug, too silver. I roll over. Check again. Still there. Still watching. Other people count sheep. I don't count. I watch. Not to do anything. To feel something. And I can't stop feeling. The moon. It's been so long waiting for this, and now we're here. I whisper to myself, relax, hodl. Just hodl. But my eyes won't listen. They keep searching the glow for numbers that aren't there. I laugh in the dark. I can't help it. The joke is on me. The joke is on all of us. Who else stays awake at night just to check if the moon has moved? It hasn't. It never does. It just waits. It just watches. It just shines. My phone lights up. I shouldn't check it. I know better, but I do. The chart is the same. It always is. Line up, line down. Silver glow unchanged. I whisper. Why do I care? The moon whispers back. Because you're holding. I sigh. I laugh again. The moon laughs too. We laugh together, quiet, alone, awake. Hours pass. Or maybe minutes. Time blurs in silver light. I try to close my eyes, but the moon slips in behind them. Silver on my eyelids, silver in my thoughts. I try to count again, blocks instead of sheep. 1, 2, 3. I lose track. I hold anyway. The night doesn't end. The moon doesn't sleep. And neither do I. They used to say the moon was cheese. Others swore it was dust. But lying here, I know. I've seen the glow. I've heard it breathe. The moon hums like a quiet engine, a ledger turning in the dark. I reach out, and it feels cold, like metal waiting in your palm. Not cheese, not stone, not dream. Something older, something lighter, something real. The moon is made of Litecoin. I laugh. It doesn't matter if I'm right. The moon laughs back. Good night, moon. Good night, dream. Good night.
They told me the moon was cheese. They told me it was dust. They told me it was nothing at all. But lying here, I know better. I've seen the light. I've heard the song. The moon is a ledger. The moon is a chain. The moon is silver through and through. Good night, old myths. Good night, old lies. The moon is not yours. The moon is mine. The moo laughs softly. A joke only I can hear. You thought I was stone. You thought I was silence. But I am movement. I am memory. I am money. I laugh back, not because I get it, but because it doesn't matter. The joke is the glow. The punchline is silver. The answer is always the same. Litecoin.
Stretches long, but the moon stretches longer, older than all of this, patient beyond belief.
It whispers. I remember the beginning. I will remember the end. I close my eyes. The glow remains. Silver lines etched in the dark, like promises no one can erase.
Good night,
promises,
Good night.
memory.
Good night. The moon is fading now. Not gone, just further. Slipping back into the sky where it belongs.
I wave. It waves back. Or maybe it doesn't. Maybe it never did.
But it doesn't matter, because
I'll still dream.
I'll still hold.
I'll still whisper.
The moon is made of Litecoin.
Good night, moon.
Good night, silver chain.
Good night. Have you ever really looked at the moon? Not just glanced at it. I mean, seen it. Have you watched it rise, slow and silver? Have you seen it pull the tides? Have you felt its glow on your skin? Have you ever stayed up all night just to see the moon? Have you ever seen a full moon and thought, maybe this is it? Wow. Look at that. What a beautiful moon. Perfect. Round. Silver. I like the moon. I said it once, but maybe you didn't hear me. I like the moon. Do you? Do you like the moon? Or do you just look at it sometimes and forget? Have you ever stopped to notice how round it is? Perfectly round, not almost, not nearly, perfect. Have you ever wondered why it never falls? Why it just hangs there, silent, steady, watching? Maybe you think you've seen it, but have you? Have you really seen it? Have you ever asked the moon a question? Not out loud, not with words, just thought it and waited. Did it answer you? Or did it just glow and let you make up the answer yourself? Have you ever seen the moon reflected in water? Not the sky moon, the copy moon, shaking, breaking, reforming, but still the moon. Have you ever wondered which is more real? The one above you, or the one rippling beneath you?
Have you ever watched the moon while the clouds tried to cover it? They always try. They float across, they smother, they hide. But the moon waits, and the clouds drift away. And there it is again, unbothered, untouched, unmoved. Have you ever thought, maybe the moon isn't just in the sky? Maybe it's in you, maybe it's in your bones. Maybe that's why silver feels familiar.
Have you ever seen the moon during the day? Bright sun overhead, but still, a pale ghost of silver behind the blue. It shouldn't be there, but it is, like it's reminding you, I'm still watching. Have you ever thought, maybe the sun is just a loud guest, but the moon is the quiet owner of the house? Have you ever wondered if the moon has always been here? Long before you, long before me, long before all of this. And if it will still be here after. I close my eyes, and the moon follows me inside. It's bigger now, closer, round and silver, filling the room. The light is heavy. It presses on my chest. It whispers block times in my ear. Steady, steady. Every 2.5 minutes. I dream of silver rivers flowing upward, never ending. I dream of wallets, not empty, but glowing, like lanterns drifting into the night sky. I dream of a market that forgot about me until the moon rose higher and higher.